going, viewers? Mr. Incredi-Brony is back and he's rolling with the punches, baby. Welcome to a ranking tier list, and yes, we're going to be doing seasons 4, 5, and 6 of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic episodes. And this, in my opinion, is when the show actually starts to get really, really awesome. And I like to consider seasons 4 and 5, especially 5, the season when Hasbro really starts to acknowledge the bronies and how important they mean to the show, really. Like, without the bronies in the fandom, I don't think the show would be as amazing as it is. Like, the appreciation that we gave the background ponies we love is what really shines a lot in this seasons, and it really touches my heart. As someone who never really was part fan until like 2016, I remember watching some animations on YouTube before 2016, and there were some pony ones I saw, and they mostly involved the background ponies I didn't even recognize. So watching the show, I was like, oh, I recognize that from the animation. That's so cool. And then, bam, we have these episodes to thank, and we'll get to them soon. But let's get into season 4, aka Incredi-Brony's favorite season of My Little Pony. I made an entire video explaining why this is the best season, but then let's talk about all the episodes. And yep, I brought up my vinyl scratch t-shirt. I thought it'd be perfect for best background pony. So, viewers, let's get into this. Cue the music. I said cue the music. Please. There it is. If you can't hear it, I apologize. Again, this is really new to me, so don't get excited. Alright, starting off, we have the season 4 premiere, Twilight's Kingdom Parts 1 and 2. I'll be honest, great premiere, but not as strong as season 2, personally. I still think season 2 has a better premiere, but this is better than season 3, although I will say season 1 had a cooler villain overall. But either way, season 4 premiere, still great way to start such an amazing season. I'll put them both in the A category. They're great. I really love them. The premise was cool. There were some funny moments, like when Twilight was trying to get used to her wings. It was really funny. And, yeah, the whole vine thing of the growing black vines that Discord calls because of the seeds he planted a long time ago, that was really cool. And seeing him again was hilarious too. He's always a fun character. He can be annoying sometimes, but he means well. So yeah, fun episode. And we also get to learn about the Tree of Harmony and how they need to find the keys, which is a really good setup for what happens in future episodes, which we'll get into later. But either way, let's get into the next episode, which is episode 3, Castle Sweet Castle. This is gonna shock y'all. A lot of bronies are not really a fan of this episode, but I love it. It's actually S tier for me personally. I don't know what it is. I would like to call this the funniest episode of the entire show. Maybe that's a bit of a hot take, but in my personal opinion, this is the funniest episode of the entire show. Mainly because, as Baseball Gamer DJ said it, it's a ton of Scooby-Doo references. As someone who grew up watching Scooby-Doo a lot, this really hits well. The jump scares, the yelling, the constant and realization that, you know, Pinkie Pie was in charge of the pipe organ all the time. It was absolutely bonkers. It was really funny. When I first watched the episode, I thought it was going to be Trixie because the cloak looked like the one that she wore in the season 3 episode Magic Duel, which is kind of ironic. But either way, the ending is really ominous too, having this like cool foreshadowing of a certain character in season 7, but we're not there yet, so we have to wait until another video. But this was still just such a... It's really entertaining, this episode. Whenever I'm feeling upset, I watch the episode and it makes me feel better. It's hilarious as heck. I love it so much. S tier. Okay, then we have Daring Don't, the introduction to Daring Do, who apparently is not a fictional character created by A.K. Yearling. It's a real pony, which I thought was a quite shock. I remember yelling out, "What a twist!" when I heard the episode for the first time. And the episode itself, it's fine. I don't think it's amazing, but I think Rainbow Dash was went a bit too far in this episode, and I do think Daring Do could have been handled a bit cooler. I wish it was a bit cooler than that, but she still had her nice moments. But I think the episode could have been a bit better. And I guess the episode message should have been, don't meet your heroes, kids. That's the real message of the story. But you know what? Still, fun episode. Has some funny moments. So I'll put this in the C tier. And then we have Flight to the Finish. I love this episode. The CMC episodes are always such an adorable treat for me. And this one is no different. This has one of my favorite songs by the CMC, which is Hearts as Strong as Horses. The inspiration and like dedication and confidence in the Fillies are so engaging. I think the song is a great example of like never to give up. No matter how little you are, you have a big heart, and your confidence is what matters really. Not what the outside, it's what the inside that counts. And this episode shows it perfectly. And I can't help but just love it for that. So for that reason, I have to give it an S tier. And I did actually shed a tear for Scootaloo because, you know, she may never get to fly. And the message, the speech that Rainbow Dash gives her at the end was so cute as well. I just really loved it. It was great. Which reminds me, this episode apparently is also another way of like, is another great message as well, because like, it's kind of like a metaphor for like disabled people can't compete for certain things, but that's not true. Whether you have a condition or you're disabled, it doesn't mean you can't do certain things. You can be who you are. You choose who you are. Don't let the world decide. You decide who you are. I'm autistic, and look at me. I have a YouTube channel, and it's honestly been a great journey because of you all. I love y'all. Anyway, S tier for Flight to the Finish. Great episode. Okay, speaking of great, we have the Power Ponies. This is a really fun episode. Just the concept alone is really cool too. And like I said earlier in my season 1 tier list, that the characters feel like the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers in a way, and we get the Power Ponies and wholly new personas, ponies, metal placement, Batman, like really funny. All the Power Ponies look really cool and have some cool abilities as well. You have the Masked Matterhorn, Filli Second, Radiance, Mistress Marvelous, basically Mr. Incredible, and Saddle Rager. That was cool. I forgot Rainbow Dash's name. I know she's like 4 because she controls thunder. I forgot her name, but I know it has something to do with thunder and tornadoes and all that jazz. But either way, and Spike, of course, was Humdrum, who is basically the sidekick and kind of useless. And it's true, Spike is useless. No one really cares about Spike that much, and I'm one of those bronies who doesn't mind, who actually enjoys Spike abuse, even though I do understand why this episode is made to prove to y'all that Spike is still important. But you know what? There are still too many episodes that prove that Spike is kind of useless. Like I said, season 3 is a good example of Spike being absolutely useless. And there is an episode later in the season that just proves that. And I think Little Shy FIM proves that as well when it's everything wrong with the series, which I will get back into at some point, don't worry. When I get back into reactions, hopefully I'll get back into that series too. I really want to do season 5 and Rainbow Rocks, of course, that'd be really cool. But yeah, really fun episode. The Maniac as well is a cool villain. And yeah, really cool A tier. Okay, then we have Bats. Oh my gosh, this has a great song. I love the song that Applejack and Fluttershy sing. This episode also has a really cool visual effect with Fluttershy becoming a bat, or Flutterbat, I should say. It was kind of creepy, honestly, and I love when Pinkie Pie was really scared of her, thinking that vampire ponies eat other ponies, and then she like digs a hole like she's the Underminer or something. It was so funny. Honestly, Pinkie Pie always never fails to make me laugh. Or she's my waifu for so many reasons. That's definitely one of them. Love ya. But my only complaint with the episode is kind of similar to every other bronies, including Biscuit Game and DJ, that Rainbow Dash was a bit too harsh in the episode. Like, she cared too much about the cider. Like, she even did the whole, some pony, think of the cider! Instead of, children, it's cider! Like, I understand, but, like, she's making her own trope at this point, and, it gets irritating sometimes. But either way, still, it's a really fun episode, and it has an amazing song, so Bats, A tier. Rarity takes main hand, the first actually good Rarity episode. Finally, a good Rarity episode. Thank you, Season 4. So yeah, Worst Pony actually gets a good episode this time, for many reasons. Her song, Generosity, was really lovely. Her buying tickets for her friends was really cute to see. Henny of the Hills, I think it was called. Surprise Rainbow Dash loves musicals as well. I mean, I like musicals, there's no surprise there, but we were also introduced to one of the cutest characters ever, which is Coco Pamel. I love her as a character. Suri Polar Mare sucks, we don't talk about her. But overall, really fun episode. And even though Rarity was a bit harsh to her friends at some point, making them work hard for her, I don't blame her, because what Suri did to her is understandable. Although it's funny when she's like, okay, okay, snow day, ole. I don't know why that's funny. But yeah, Rarity takes me in hand, a good Rarity episode. Not amazing, but still good. So, B tier. Okay, then we have Pinkie Apple Pie. Oh, I adore this episode oh my gosh, I love it. First of all, one of the best songs of the show. The Apples to the Core, I love it. Top tune, 10 out of 10 for that one. Pinkie Pie realizing that she's actually might be related to the Apple family is also a really cool concept as well, that they actually found out that they're cousins, which is cool because they're both Earth ponies, so that's kind of a bit of a thing. And Apple Pie is such a cute thing to say out loud, honestly. I loved it. The episode was also really, really funny, and I really enjoyed it. It's just such a cute episode, and as someone who has an amazing family and loves them so much, this episode just hits well for me, I love it. So yeah, S tier. Also, Pinkie Pie does the duck face at some point. That gives it extra points for that, for a lot of reasons, which I'm not going to get into. Anyway, then we have, this is going to be a bit of a hot take, but this is my favorite episode of season 4, and also my favorite Rainbow Dash centered episode, and possibly of the show. Maybe it could change, but I do consider this the best episode of the show many times, and I still kind of do, and I'll explain now. So this is, of course, I think it's called, I'm pretty sure it's called Rainbow Fools. Don't get me wrong, I think the episode's called Rainbow Fools. This is my favorite episode of season 4 for many reasons, and I'm gonna explain right now, trust me. First of all, like, oh my gosh. So, okay, as you all know, Rainbow Dash has always been the loyal one to her friends, but you see, she's also has a bit of an ego, and she also loves the Wonderbolts and wants to be one of them. And after a competition where they have to race against each other, Rainbow Dash realizes that she does want to be with the Wonderbolts, and then Soren injures himself, sadly, and then Fleetfoot and Spitfire suggest they can, you know, maybe join them, or as Fleetfoot says, practice. We mean practice. Rainbow Dash. I love her list, boys. I love Fleetfoot. Which, of course, you think Rainbow Dash is going to choose her friends, right? But no, Rainbow Dash just wants to be with her heroes, but then realizes that the Spitfire and Fleetfoot pretended that Soren was still injured just so they can get a better flyer, which is honestly kind of messed up, really. But Rainbow Dash comes through and actually chooses her friends, which is a really strong moment. And also, this is the episode where Rainbow Dash discovers her key. I forgot to mention that Rarity, his main hand, is the episode where she discovers her key. I apologize for forgetting that, but that's another reason I really like the episode, because it's Rarity's moment of getting her key. This is Rainbow Dash's moment of getting her key. I think it's the best song, without a doubt. I really love it. I just love Rainbow Dash's realization, her coming clean. And the episode is also really funny too. It has Bulk Biceps. Bulk Biceps is so cool as a character. You know, the one that goes, yeah! He's really funny. I also loved Pinkie Pie's cheerleading outfit. She honestly makes a perfect cheerleader, honestly, without a doubt. I would love her to cheer my team at sports day all the time. Also, I have to say it, Derpy. Derpy makes an appearance, and it was such a shocking moment. I just love seeing other bronies' reactions to that. It's so cool to see. I just love when they just yell and start freaking out. It's just so cute to see, and I know I was like that the first time. It really was such a cool moment, and for all those reasons, Rainbow Falls is my favorite episode of season 4 and favorite Rainbow Dash episode, and possibly the show. Possibly. Maybe, I don't know yet, but it's a solid 10 out of 10. I love this episode so much. Top of the S tier, it's staying there. Okay, then we have a not so great episode, Freeze a Crowd. This is probably the first episode of Discord where I started to find him kind of irritating. He is usually very entertaining, but this episode, I was not that much of a fan of him. He was kind of pretending to be sick just so he can ruin Twilight and Cadence's like sister-in-law get-together thing, and it was kind of messed up. But there were some funny moments, like when he was interacting with the other main 6, and there was a really funny moment when he pretended to be on a heart rate monitor, which was really funny. He also distracted Pinkie Pie using a balloon, and yeah, there were some funny moments in the beginning. But after that, his song was also pretty good. I liked his song, but it wasn't anything special. So yeah, this episode is just a meh, really. So I'll put it in the D tier. It's just a meh. But then we have an amazing episode, which I know a lot of bronies would be surprised. This is not my favorite, but it is still solid. It's episode. This is definitely going in the S tier already, which is of course Pinkie Pride. Like, come on. First of all, Weird Al. Yes, Weird Al Yankovic himself voices a pony in the show. Cheese Sandwich. He even sings. And I'm not gonna lie, as someone whose waifu is Pinkie Pie, I am completely fine with her being with Cheese Sandwich. I ship them. I said it. I ship them. I also ship Rainbow Dash with Soren, and I ship Twilight and Flash. Change my mind, viewers. This is my channel. Can't judge me. And all the songs in this episode, there are so many songs in this episode. It's probably the best musical episode, and honestly. I just love it. It has some really funny moments as well, and the only complaint I have with this episode is Rainbow Dash being a bit too harsh to Pinkie Pie when she says something like Pinkie Pie's parties are fine and all, but with you, Cheese Sandwich, this one's gonna be epic or something. And then she's like, no offense, Pinkie Pie, which I took full offense on that. It felt like she really meant that. It hurt me, honestly. But other than that, incredible episode. And my favorite line in the episode is when Pinkie Pie says, the stakes are on for high noon. Pinkie, it's past that time. Oh, make it 3:10. That was really funny. So yeah, really funny episode, great songs, and overall amazing character. Everyone loves Weird Al, and this episode just proves that. So yeah, S tier, but I do prefer Rainbow Falls. And then we have oh my gosh, this episode is quite the doozy. Simple Ways. Rolls right off the tongue for many reasons. And so first of all, Rarity has a crush on this guy called, I think it's Trenderhoof. I think that's the name. Sorry if I forgot. I'm pretty sure it's Trenderhoof. And she's gonna do like a little tour for him in Ponyville, and apparently she's in love with him, of course, and he falls in love with Applejack, a bit of a third wheel scenario. It sucked. It's not the worst. Don't worry, it's not the worst love. Oh my gosh, come. It's not the worst love triangle of My Little Pony. Don't worry, we do get a much worse one in season 7, spoiler alert, but to those who know, you know. But this is still such a bit of a boring episode. Spike also friend-zoned himself, which is just okay. Like, again, all the Rarity and Spike shippers, please stop. You don't even understand what you're doing. He's a child, and she's like in her 20s. Does no one even realize that? Do I need to say this so many times? I have nothing wrong with the fact that he's a dragon and she's a pony. Crossbreeding is cool, but when one is underage, then no, there's a red line right there, and a red flag. People are blind, or deaf, anything, or both, even worse. Oh my gosh. But yeah, the love triangle in this episode was just kind of boring, really, and the part where Rarity tried to be like Applejack in All Country was just so awkward, but yet it was weirdly funny. But when Applejack was Apple Jewel, the episode somehow became really good. I actually liked when Applejack did that. It was funny, and don't quote me on this, she looked kind of attractive. I'm just saying, she did. I mean, I even did a community poll asking if she did the duck face better, or did Ben Stiller did it better in Zoolander, and y'all said it was Apple Jewel, and I agree. It was pretty hot. I'm just saying. Anyway, my point is, Simple Ways, it's just a boring episode, but it does have some funny moments in it, and for that reason, I'll put it in the C tier. But other than that, still, just the okay episode. Okay, then we have Filli Vanilli. Oh, I love this episode. This is another incredible episode of season 4. Solid S tier, like, no doubt. I don't care what y'all say. I know you're gonna comment down, Incredi-Brony, this episode has some worse Pinkie Pie writing. I don't care. This episode actually is amazing, and Pinkie Pie's writing doesn't distract me, because here's the thing. I thought it was funny the way how Pinkie Pie was being too supportive and overexcited for Fluttershy's future and making her cry. See, that made sense for Pinkie Pie's character, because Pinkie Pie's the kind of friend that like wants to be supportive but doesn't realize when she's being too much, and that's complete. We've been there, so don't get mad at Pinkie Pie for doing that. She's still always going to be my favorite pony. This episode doesn't ruin her. If anything, it makes her just funnier that she just doesn't realize when she's going too far. Also, there's a really funny line when she's like, "No offense, Fluttershy, you kind of sounded like a dude." That still cracks me up. You kind of sounded like a dude. And speaking of dude, we have Flutter Guy back. Woo-hoo! Let's go. So yeah, Flutter Guy returns. It's always a good sign. Big Mac was singing for the first time, which is really cool. Zakura, we got some more Zakura. And the songs in this were really nice. Fluttershy's development was done really well in this episode. And there was some really cool plot moments in this episode. Like, oh my gosh, Fluttershy was really shaking her flank. It was very alluring, I will say. So yeah, DJ, your waifu was going crazy in the episode. But either way, amazing episode. S tier. I love it. Okay, then we have Twilight Time, another really great episode. This episode is also really well written as well. The CMC, as usual, are really cute. So the CMC hang out with Twilight and try to learn new skills, and when they tell Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon that they are friends with her, they somehow become the best fillies in the school, because, you know, Twilight's really popular, and then the CMC use Twilight to become popular, which is kind of messed up, but, you know, you can't help but feel bad for them, so it makes sense why they would do that. The episode is also really funny. It also has one of the funniest moments in the show when Twilight's having hamburgers, I think, at a restaurant. That was a really funny moment, and other than that, really great, really good episode, honestly. A tier. We also get to see what Diamond Tiara's garden looks like, because we actually get to see her swimming pool. Like, I want to swim in that pool. It looks really big. But yeah, A tier. Okay, then we have oh wait, what was this episode again? Oh yeah, It Ain't Easy Being Breezies, episode 16. This episode, it's fine. The episode where Fluttershy gets her key, it was fine. I think it was a fine episode. The Breezies were cool enough characters, but they didn't really last an impact on me. But it was still a fun episode for what it was. But because it's Fluttershy's key episode, I'll give it a B tier. Okay, then we have, oh my gosh, probably the worst episode of season 4, Some Pony to Watch Over Me. This episode is just so dumb. So yeah, Apple Bloom is, of course, is given the task to be home alone, but then Applejack gets too worried, and then she sees a mess in the house, and then becomes way too overprotective, and then Apple Bloom sneaks out, and then meets up with this really scary looking creature, which I forgot the name of. And honestly, the episode just kind of lost me there. It was an obscure episode, and it did feel out of character for Applejack personally. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. It was just a boring episode. The only bad episode of season 4. Well, that and Freeze the Crowd, and kind of simple ways, but not really. So yeah, D tier. Then we have Maud Pie, the introduction to my waifu's sister. Such a great character. Everyone loves Maud Pie. Her expressions, her voice, her personality, everything about her is just so cool. And her companion Boulder, such a cool guy. Not as cool as Tom from season 2, but still cool character. Really funny episode as well. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, just A tier. And then we have For Whom the Sweetie Belle Toils, a really great episode with Sweetie Belle. Honestly, this is a really well-written episode. And I can definitely see why Sweetie Belle was mad with Rarity because of making the dresses look too good. And getting, all the attention. It made sense. But her ruining Rarity's dresses for Sapphire Shores' show was a bit rude. But the whole dream sequence with Luna is always the best thing. I love when Princess Luna's involved in an episode. She's amazing. I love her so much. So yeah, for that, I'm giving this episode A tier. Also, Sapphire Shores is back. That's amazing. And oh my gosh, is she so attractive. Like, dang. Anyway, then we have Applejack episode where she got the key. I forgot the name of the episode. I apologize. Comment down below if you know it. But it's the episode where Applejack gets her key. This is a C tier for one main reason. Flim and Flam are back. What else can I say? Flim and Flam, they're back. But still a good message episode about not lying. And then we have, another amazing episode. Rainbow Dash's episode of Testing 1, 2, 3. So apparently Rainbow Dash, who is the biggest fan of the Wonderbolts, knows nothing about their history. That is such a weird thing to say out loud. But the episode is really funny. Twilight trying to teach her. The other ponies trying to teach. The best part was when Pinkie Pie was rapping. That was the best moment in the show. Well, the episode, I mean. But S tier. Just Pinkie Pie rap. S tier. Just all the way through. And then we have, wait, what was that episode called again? Oh, the episode where they were all... Trade Ya. There we go. Trade Ya. This is another really funny episode. The ponies wanted to trade something. Rainbow Dash wanted to trade a rusty old horseshoe for a Daring Do Bird, but then that pony wanted dogs, and then they needed a Discord lamp, and then one needed a antique chicken, and then it all went bizarre. But it was a really funny episode. I really liked it. Cute moments as well. Yeah, I like it. B tier. Okay, then we have the inspiration manifestation one. Is that right? Inspiration and manifestation. That sounds like an episode. That sounds like a level from Luigi's Mansion 2, does it not? Outlandish interruption. Ghoulish distraction. Terrifying invasion. Inspiration manifestation. Low-key. That sounds like a cool rap song. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, this one, we're already going insane. It was creepy. Fun, but creepy. C for creepy. Yeah, C tier. And then we have Equestria Games. Oh my gosh, this episode is... Oh my gosh, this episode is quite the doozy. So yeah, Spike is now known as the Brave and Glorious because of, saving this Crystal Empire for Season 3 premiere, which I understand and all. But, like... His ego was too much this episode. And then he had the whole... Couldn't light up the torch. And then, he tried to sing, but the Cloudsdale anthem, but he messed up big time. Yeah, this episode is not really my cup of tea, but it's still entertaining. So for that, and it has the Wonderbolts in it, so for that reason, C tier. Low C tier. Okay, and then we have the season 4 finale, my favorite finale of the show. I don't care what y'all say, the best finale. S tier. Right up there on the S tier. Oh yeah, this episode is everything, honestly. Like, everything you need, okay? The battle with Twilight and Tyrek, amazing. Discord's betrayal, but then joining them again, also insane. Tyrek's stealing the magic, so cool. The Golden Oak Library being destroyed, insane. And also, the first episode at the beginning has Flash Sentry making a little appearance. Always good to see. This episode is just absolute fire. I don't care what y'all say. It's the best finale of the show, and a favorite finale of any show ever, and the most anime that a cartoon show for kids is ever gonna get. I adore this season. This season is my favorite season, and for that reason, this whole season is a 10 out of 10. Season 1, 7 out of 10. Season 2, 8 out of 10. Season 3, also 7 out of 10. But Season 4, 10 out of 10. And we're just getting started, because then we have another amazing season coming up next for Season 5. Look forward to that, viewers. Comment down below what your favorite episode of Season 4 is, and if I missed any episode titles, comment down below. And either way, viewers, love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. If you know this particular one, leave a like on it. Don't forget to subscribe. If you're interested, follow me on Instagram, link down below. And until then, stay positive, keep calm, stay safe, be incredible. And as always, Brony on. Peace.